You want to know what sucks about having pretty yarn such as this? Look at it. Gorgeous skein. It's the fucking project paralysis that you get when you do have pretty yarn. Because you look at it and you're like, I want to make the best possible project that I can out of this yarn. I don't want to just use it on something simple and you feel like you're wasting it. So then you stare at it and you can't figure out what to make with it. So then it just sits on your shelf for a long ass time. Hence, project paralysis.
Today I'm going to do a tutorial on this heart granny square, and even though I am still sitting in front of my Christmas tree, I'm ready for Valentine's Day. This granny square is 7 inches on each side. You could make it bigger by repeating the last row or smaller by reducing the size of your hook. Today I'm going to use pink instead of red because I want to have some of each color of heart. This is a worsted weight yarn. It happens to be from a brand called Encore, but this could be any worsted weight yarn that you have. I'm going to use a 5mm hook. My tutorials do assume that you know how to crochet, so I'm going to call out the stitches and I'm going to show you my progress and what your work should look like at the end of each of the different rows and different steps along the way. Hopefully it'll work out great. You can do so many things with granny squares. You could make a scarf, you could put it on a hat, you could put it in the middle of a vest, you can make a blanket, you could make it a sweater for your dog. Whatever, but it's going to have a cute heart in the middle of it, and it's up to you where you go from there. Okay, I'm going to get my yarn ready to go, and then I'll start calling out the beginning of this tutorial. The first step of this project is really easy. It's just a magic square. Chain 2 does not count as the first stitch, and then 12 double crochets into the ring. At the end of round 1, I did slip stitch to the first stitch, and then I did chain 2 again, does not count as the first stitch, and then I put 2 double crochets into each stitch around. So now I have 24 stitches. I slip stitched to the beginning, and I'm going to tell you that for the next round we're going to start without any chain stitches. We're going to go just straight into the stitches. I'll be right back to talk about that. For the next series of stitches, we're going to be actually making the heart-shaped heart part of this. It's a little strange, but you're going to be just fine. To get started, remember, we're not going to chain it all. We're going to skip the first 3 stitches. That's the stitch that's right under where you joined, and then that one, and then 2 more, skip. And then into the next stitch, you're going to make 8 double, triple crochets. What does that mean? If you don't know, it means you're going to yarn over 3 times, pull up a loop, and then pull through loops 2 at a time. So you're going to do that 4 times. So it's a double, triple. You're going to make 8 of them into that stitch, and then into that same stitch, 2 triple stitches. How many stitches does that mean we're all making into the first stitch? It's 10. So go ahead and make those stitches. When you're done, your piece is going to look like this. You can see it's starting to have the first rounded part of the heart, and then we're going to be ready to go on to the next step. So you just did 10 stitches into 1 stitch, and now what you're going to do is you're going to be coming down that sort of diagonal side of the heart. What you're going to do is triple stitch into each of the next 2 stitches. That's 2 stitches. Then you're going to double stitch, half double crochet, and then you're going to do 3 single crochets in the next 3 stitches. And after you do that series of stitches, this is where you're going to be. The last thing that we're going to do on this side of the heart is in 1 stitch, in the next stitch, we're going to do a half double and then a double crochet, and then we're going to chain 1, and boom, you're at the bottom of your heart. So take a moment and admire your work. In that last stitch, again, it's half double, then it's a double, and then it's a chain 1. And that chain 1 tells you that you're at the bottom of the heart. See how cute it is? You're at the bottom of the heart, and now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna mirror those stitches until we get all the way back up to the top. Just for funsies, I went ahead and threw a stitch marker in that bottom chain 1 at the bottom of the heart, just so that when we're working around with the first round of the square, we won't lose track of where the bottom of the heart is. Okay, to mirror our stitches coming up the other side of the heart, the first thing we're gonna do in the next stitch is we're gonna double crochet and then half double crochet into the same stitch. And then we're going to 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then what you're starting to see is the peak of the heart at the bottom. You're gonna see it start curving back up towards the top. In the next 4 stitches working our way up, we're gonna go half double crochet, triple crochet, 4 stitches. Now it's time to reverse that big curve that we did at the front part of the heart. So into 1 stitch, we're gonna put 10 stitches. We're gonna go triple stitch, and then 8 double triple stitches. Remember, for the double triple, we're gonna yarn over 3 times and then pull up a loop and then group those loops, pull through those loops 2 at a time, 4 times. How many stitches into that 1 big stitch? 10 stitches. Triple, 8 double triples. See you back here in a minute. Once you make all 10 of those stitches into that 1 stitch, the only thing we have left to do is to slip stitch, just like we did at the front end, to the last stitch, which is, you skip 3 stitches from the one where you just finished off. You can see 1, 2, 3, we skip those 3, and then boom, we slip stitch, we finish off our yarn, and I'll be right back. Okay, I finished off my heart by slip stitching to that stitch after skipping the last 3 stitches. And then I went ahead and put in a stitch marker right there because that's where we're gonna pick up and connect our yarn the next time. So now I have a stitch marker at the top where the 2 halves join and at the bottom where there's the chain 1 space. And we have a heart, and this is where part 1 of the tutorial is going to end, and I'll see you for part 2 where we add the square. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope this worked out for you.
I got good news. We're extending arts and crafts time by 4 hours today.
My fingers hurt.
What's that?
My fingers hurt.
Oh, well.
Hi, I'm gonna show you everything I made myself in 2025. First up, this cozy little rainbow striped sweater. Super oversized, but it was one of my first projects of the year. Then I made this Keith Haring tapestry that is now hanging up in my studio. Then I made the 6-day star blanket in like 7 days. Then we have this cute little pullover. My first big sewing project is this jacket I made out of a blanket. I actually made this the day I got engaged. Needed somewhere to keep my rings, so I made these cute little ring dishes. Then one of my personal favorites of the year, the Raglan. I just love all of the colors on here. I think it's so cozy and cute. Then I made this heart cross stitch representative of the Kansas City heart I painted 2 years ago. I made this sweatshirt out of a tapestry blanket that I thrifted. Next, I made this tank top to go see Chapel Roan. And then my longest project of the year finally wrapped up with this stunning dress. Next, I made this fun little summery dress. It was a pattern I was seeing everywhere and just had to make with some tablecloths I found at Goodwill. I found this super fun gradient yarn when Joann's was closing, having all of its sales, so I made a hexagon cardigan. And I liked the Chapel Roan top so much I used the same pattern to make this tank top as well. I had a lot of leftover yarn from that other pullover, so I made a skirt. I made these overalls out of a quilt that we found in my grandpa's closet that my grandma made. And I want wanted something a bit easier on the mind for projects and something I can wear in the winter, so I have this scarf hood. Throughout the NFL season, I worked on this Chiefs cardigan. Another personal favorite of this year. Next, I made this sweatshirt out of a quilt I found at a flea market. I somehow only managed to make 2 plushies for myself this year, so I have 11 and a Demogorgon from Stranger Things. And my last project of the year is actually still in the works. It is a shawl I will wear for Christmas. And that is everything I made for myself this year. Honestly, way more than I thought it would be, but so exciting. I'm hoping for even more handmade creations next year. I will list everything in the description below with the patterns and stuff and how long each of them took me. I hope you all created some fun things this year too, and Happy New Year!
Woohoo! Big summer blowout!
Blue flower, red thorns, blue flower, red thorns, blue flower, red thorns. This would be so much easier if I wasn't colorblind. Blue flower, red...
Imagination.
No, not the buttons! Not my gumdrop buttons!
All right, then.
I say let it die! Let it die, let it die, let it shrivel up and... Come on,
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
I want to talk really quickly about the crochet projects that I finished this year. I got super into crochet this year. I learned to crochet like 12 years ago, and I like have not consistently crocheted since learning how to, but this year I just like crocheted like crazy. Not really, it's like 4 things, but like it's a lot for me, and I wanted to share what I finished. And the first thing is actually something that's not finished, which was this little sunflower kit that my friend Rachel got me for Christmas last year, and it has like little leaves in it, and then you make like the sunflowers and they go in the pot. I didn't finish this. I am planning to finish this, but I wanted to mention it because this is what kickstarted the crocheting journey. I wanted to finish it by the end of this year. I don't think that's gonna happen, so that's gonna be the first project of 2026. I paused the sunflower to work on some photo card holders, which I'm gonna put a picture right here. But I made these for my friend Carly. We went to an AT's concert. I didn't know what a photo card was. I didn't know what a photo card holder was. I didn't even know who AT's was, but she sent me asking if I could make one, and I was like, hell yeah. So I found a pattern, or I guess a tutorial on TikTok on how to make them, and then I just kind of freehanded like the little ears and the like feathery things, and I feel like they turned out okay. They're not perfect, that's for sure, but I'm like happy with how they turned out. The next thing was a poncho. I was initially gonna make like a granny square poncho with each stripe being a different color yarn, but then I found the Karen Anniversary Cakes yarn at Michael's, and so I decided to use that instead. And this is how she turned out. I'm like pretty happy with this. I followed a tutorial I found on Pinterest. I made the neckline a little bigger than she had initially called for, and I feel like I maybe didn't need to do that because with the weight of it, it kind of falls. And then because I had to turn the granny square every round so that it wouldn't be like lopsided, there's some like patches like here that are like a block of color, which I don't super love, and I feel like I wish there was more of like the purple and the pink. I feel like it's very like green, and I think that's because there's like the 2 green colors, but I haven't worn this yet. Then I made a tapestry, and this was a gift from my girlfriend for Christmas, which it is her favorite hockey team. And so she can just hang it on her wall. This was my first attempt at tapestry crochet. The back is like a mess. I'm really happy with this. I did have to pull out multiple rows multiple times. I was not counting my stitches properly, but I feel like it worked out okay. I used stitch fiddle to do this. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's definitely a tiny bit smaller at the bottom than it is at the top. I blocked it, and I just could not get it to like be a square, but I don't think she's gonna care. So I'm like super happy with this. And I definitely want to try more tapestry crochet in the new year because it was surprisingly easier than I was expecting. Okay, and then the last thing I made was this beanie. I don't really want to put it on because my hair is wet, but this was just a half double crochet into the back loop, and then the pattern had you do like slip stitches at the top so it doesn't get super like bumpy. It looks a little bit, but I swear when it's on it looks normal. This one I also started it and then got like 7 rows in and had to stop and start over because I was doing the front loop instead of the back loop, but it's super cute. I think I'm gonna make these as like gifts next year because it was super quick, super easy, and it worked up really fast. That is everything I crocheted this year, which given I started in like July, I feel like is a decent amount of stuff. Next year I have plans for stuff that I want to learn how to crochet. I obviously want to finish the sunflower, but there's some other stuff that I would really like to do, but I also really want to learn how to knit, and so I think next year is just going to be like fiber arts year. But yeah, that's everything I made.
And remember, with a little rusties and an insane amount of luck, you too can look like me. Ka-chow.
Have you ever tried hand making a gift for someone you love, but everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong? Yeah, well, that's exactly what happened with the balloon sleeve sweater I tried to crochet for my friend Serena. I picked up the most gorgeous knitting kit from Sandro Silk in Serena's favorite colors, but completely underestimated how much yarn I need to make the sweater. I needed around 900 meters of yarn, and this kit had just over 400 meters. I would have gone back for more, but I picked up the last kit in this color scheme, and I wasn't about to let this luxurious blend of merino wool and silk go to waste. So I took a huge risk and started crocheting the balloon sleeve sweater anyways, but ran out of yarn after only completing the front. I looked at the front panel from a ton of different angles and realized that if I stretched the wrist cuff, it could wrap around her entire wrist. So I folded the project in half horizontally and sewed up the edges to create sleeves. This project was never meant to go my way because the shrug I ended up creating turned out way better than the initial gift idea I had.
Everything that's in my crochet bag that I just got for Christmas and I'm really excited about. You guys loved my last crochet video about everything I'd made so far. I just started crocheting a month and a half ago. The video performed really well, so I thought I would talk about it some more. Before we start though, quick update. In that other video, I had just started making my dog a sweater to match the beanie that I made, and I finished it and I wanted to show you guys. I'm so proud of it. It's so cute. It fits her perfectly. This is the tutorial I followed if you guys want to make one. Anyway, I think this can be used as a craft bag in general, but I'm mainly using it for crochet right now. It's from the brand Sula, and I love the color so much. She's so cute. So far, I have put this one little patch on there that my mom also got for me. It's a little cat playing with yarn, and she's so cute. Dress it up with like some charms and stuff, but I don't know what I'm gonna do exactly. Starting on the front, obviously, we have all my crochet hooks, and then on this side, I have a little pair of scissors, of course. I have some crochet knitting needles and a little threader for them, which is such a great investment if you don't have one of these. Other side, I have little stitch markers. I started with this pack from Michael's and most of my supplies is from Michael's, but they just weren't really cute, but it was all they had. And then for Christmas, my mom also got me these ones that are clear, and they're so adorable. I love them so much. Moving on to the inside of the bag. First, I also got this cross stitch kit last time I was at Michael's. It has little bunnies, and I just thought it'd be something fun and different to try. In this little inside pocket, I have like accessories. I don't know what you would call this, but I have a keychain and some little buttons. And then in the opposite pocket, I have the beginning of the project I'm working on right now, which is this really cute little pair of fingerless like mitten gloves, whatever, that have ruffles. This is what I have so far. And it's the little part that goes around the wrist. This is the tutorial I'm following for this one, just FYI, because I know you guys are gonna ask. The main part, obviously, I have the yarn. So my mom like rewound this perfect because they just sit in there, and then even when you have to like tug on the yarn, it just kind of rolls around in the bag rather than all over the living room. That's everything that's in my little crochet bag right now. If you're a seasoned crocheter, thank you for all the advice on my other video, but also if you have any recommendations for tools and whatnot that I need, please share. But yeah.
Okay, I'm back home now. Don't mind. Okay, I'm back home now. And I'm so excited to show you guys the yarn that I got. Okay. First, I was looking for this bad boy because I'm like, bro, you see that? Yeah, it balls up the yarn for you. I'm so excited. Okay. Then, look at her. And Big Twist is a really good brand. So if you see a Big Twist brand, pick her up. She's good and she's cheap and she gets the job done. I picked up these two because I picked up these two because there's this blanket that I have here. Are they like the same color? They're not the same color. It will do. Like, I'm not that picky, but this blanket, I've been making it for like years now, and I just never finished it. So I feel like whatever they get, like that will be fine. This is the pink I was looking for when I was in there that they didn't have anymore. I don't know if it's like out of stock or whatever, but can't find it. And this is the green. This is the green I was looking for. They didn't have it, and I was right with the size that... Actually, no, I think I was wrong. I think I could have got the yarn that I saw. I think the yarn that was there was the right size. I think I just forgot because I did a granny square pattern, so it looked like it was thicker, but it's okay. I'll go back. It's okay. I'll go back. I got this big old green, because you never can have enough green. Green is my favorite color. You can never have enough green. Oh, shit. Big twist in the building. You already know. I got all these colors. Aren't they so freaking pretty and vibrant? Love that. Another big twist. Big and yellow, big and bright. Love her down. Oh, I'm not done, baby. I'm not done. I got a big white because you can never have too much white to put like a border or like in between colors. You like to sew in between, like you always gonna go white. So I got me a go white. Another big twist, this vibrant purple. Oh, this is a big twist. This is Leuven threads. Love her. Another big twist in the building. Pink, love her. I was running out of my blue. I'm doing a project right now and I'm running low on my blue, so I was like, might as well stock up on this blue right here. And last but not least, I grabbed some funky colors just because I wanted to try something different, try something new. So my first one is this one, because look at her. Like, come on now. This one, she's nice and like, she just gives like you know what I think of? Tinkerbell, the blue one. That's what this kind of gives. What's her name? I forget. And then this one is just like spunky. I don't know. It's like it gives springtime, which is perfect because if I make anything in time for the spring, like I'll have it. But yeah, that's everything. I'm so happy. I'm literally so happy.
Don't mind me, I'm sick. If you are crocheting and you want a perfect circle that does not get these little like hexagon points, what you're going to do is you're going to switch up how you do your increases. So when doing your rounds, normally your increase was always going to be in the second stitch of your previous increase. And that is what creates those corners. So what you're going to do is move around your increase. It makes it where you actually have to count, but it gives you a circle. I just did 2 stitches and then an increase. So instead of doing 1, 2, 3 stitches and then an increase, I'm going to do 1 stitch, increase, and then 3 stitches. So it breaks up where your increases are, and that is the key.
I hit the yarn jackpot, y'all. I hit the yarn jackpot! So this place is called Save-A-Thon. It's located on Flatbush Avenue, not too far away from King's Plaza. They have so much freaking yarn, y'all. I couldn't believe it. Like, look at this. I was in complete awe. Like, I felt like I was a kid in a candy store. Y'all know I recently just started my yarn journey, my crocheting journey. So this was like being in a candy shop. I don't have to order off of Amazon anymore. Well, maybe I could still, but this is a place to be. They have every color scheme, every texture of yarn, different types of yarn, different, like everything. Oh my gosh, I just couldn't believe it. If y'all need to pick up some yarn, make sure y'all go and check out Save-A-Thon. It's right there on Flatbush Avenue. Go and get y'all some yarn.
Owe you an update. Using this tricolor yarn, it's fine, I liked it, but when I got to the sleeves, I knew that's where the fun was going to come in. Colors and added 3 more, switch color, added 2 more, but the whole time I was increasing. So we're going to go somewhere between like Martha May Whovier and like Molly Weasley.
somewhere in there. So I want it to be down to my fingertips, and then I'm going to take some of these solids that I used in here and bring some more life into, or this block of, this did not work up the way that I wanted it to, but I'm in love with the mismatched chaos and whimsy that this brings. So a couple more rows of whatever I have, and I've been working between the two sleeves because I want them to be sisters, not cousins, and I won't remember what I did if I like wait and do one sleeve and then do another, and I don't know how much yarn I'm gonna have because I'm using a lot of scrap, like as much scrap as I can find is going kind of into a little bit of everything. So I've been going back and forth, but I'm pretty pumped about the sleeve. And so I'm going to sit and try to do, I just did a green double round on this one. I'm going to do a green double round on this one. And then I think this was a triple. I think I'm going to do one more of these in this tricolor. In the front, I think I'm going to go ahead and do some of this really pretty alternating single and break up all of this color washed stuff because I don't feel like it screams Christmas, as crazy as that is. So we're going to bring some of this life back into kind of the placket and the ribbing and everything.
Let's talk about custom orders while I make a custom order. And today's custom order is my Bella bucket hat in the larger size. And for this project, I am using the Hobby Lobby I Love This cotton in the colors white and red. Starting off with our center pulls, of course, and then same thing for the red. On my almost 2 years of being a full-time crochet artist, I have rarely gotten custom orders. Like, I think I can count on 2 hands how many customs I've ever gotten. And this is not me complaining at all, by the way. I absolutely love the way my crochet business is going and the freedom that I get with being able to make whatever I want. But on the rare occasions that I do get custom orders, they're just super fun and kind of break me out of my shell. For example, this is supposed to be a Christmas/holiday themed bucket hat, and I never would have thought to make one of these. And even the creation of this Bella bucket hat pattern stemmed from someone requesting a custom order bucket hat from me. So I have just always loved when these orders come in and I get to create something that maybe I wouldn't have thought of myself. So I guess the point of me making this video is kind of me saying that I want to expand and be able to make more things for other people. And an idea that has been gnawing at me for months now is the possibility of me doing a market for the first time ever. I think it would be really fun. I'd get to learn what kind of crochet pieces people really like to see, and I'd get to showcase my crochet in person rather than on social media. Don't get me wrong, this market idea would not happen for a while because I do want to be fully prepared for it. So crocheters that have done markets, what do you guys think of markets? And people who like to purchase crochet, what do you guys think? Thank you guys for your help, and here is our finished order.
Part 4 of my crochet curtain series, and this is the tutorial. If you're anything like me and you have a ton of scrap yarn lying around, even if it's the tiniest little ball, grab it and let's go. The best thing about this project is that it is completely customizable. Whatever yarn you want, whatever hook size you want, and it is completely up to you how long to make your chains. Honestly, a little hack for you guys is I don't even count anymore. I will take this one ball and it into one really long chain, cut off the sections of length that I need. Alright, that one I finished in about 9 minutes. I'm going to show you on the sample piece how to cut your sections. So you'll find whatever chain you want to cut at, and you're going to cut just the front or back loop of that chain, right? And then once you pull the pieces apart, you should be able to simply pull both sides to tighten it, and then you have 2 strands. It's going to be a lot easier if you just make one long one and then split them off. I even got 3 from this one ball. So once you have enough of your little worms, up at the top of the door frame where my base chain is, so I'm going to find my 2 end pieces, put them together, and then just string it down to find that middle loop that we're going to use the lark's knot with. I'm going to slip the loop under the base chain, and then we're going to put the 2 ends through that loop and then pull. And then boom. You tighten it however you'd like to tighten it. And the good thing about this method is, with it not being actually attached to the base chain, you can move them and attach colors in between. So let's say I wanted to do this pink color, but I don't want to do it right next to this pink, so we're just going to scoot some of these over, and we're going to do it in between those colors. So I got my loop, and take my loop under, and then pull my pieces through that loop, and then tighten. And then you just scoot it wherever you need it. don't worry if the ends come out different lengths. You can always give them a little trim. I low-key gave it like layers. Here's the final product. Stay tuned for the last part where I show you guys my favorite ways to style and drape.
I have so much yarn that I need to get rid of, so that means it's time to start a new crochet project. At the beginning of this year, one of the things I wrote in my 2025 bucket list was to make a new granny square blanket. I don't know why I did this considering it took me so long to complete my last one, but I'm always looking for a challenge. So I'm starting a new series where I will be crocheting a variety of different granny squares to fill up my blanket. Not every granny square is going to be different, but my plan is to make as many unique ones as possible. So today we're going to kick off this series by making a strawberry granny square. I used this one on my blanket last time, and it's definitely one of my faves. I'm using this written pattern I found on Pinterest as a reference, and for each granny square in this blanket, I'm going to be making 2 to 3 of each in different colors. These granny squares turned out a bit bigger than last time, but they still look super cute. Thank you for joining me on this episode, and be sure to follow along to keep me company on my granny square blanket journey. I'll also have an ongoing spreadsheet linked in my bio that I'll be updating after every episode with links to all the patterns I reference in this series. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next one.
Everything I've crocheted since I learned how to like a month ago. It's a little much, maybe, but I'm really proud. First thing is this little skinny scarf. This is kind of why I wanted to learn how to crochet, because Lorelai always wears these in Gilmore Girls and I think they're so cute. But like, why buy one when I can just make one? Like, how stinking cute is that? This is where you're gonna see how much growth I've had in the month since I learned how, because this looks totally fine. Like, it's adorable, but it's very wonky, as you can see. And like, for my first project, like, no judgment. And she's adorable and I love her with my whole heart, but I've definitely improved a lot. And I actually made a second one of these that's a little bit thinner that I made for my dog, and I am gonna add some buttons. Imagine my pure joy when I discovered color changing yarn like this too. Like, what more could a girl ask for? After those, my next project was a beanie. This was my first attempt and I think it honestly turned out really good. I scrunched the top a little too much. You can't really tell when it's on, and I love the color of yarn. Already so much improvement when you're looking like at this part of it. The next two are gifts, so if you're my friend Brenna or my Oma, please scroll. And back to scarves. I'm so proud of this one. I feel like you can really see my improvement. This is for my grandma for Christmas. I'm probably gonna mail it later today, so perfect timing for this video. I learned how to do a moss stitch for this and I think it's so pretty. This one is still like, I wasn't completely consistent. It's a little crook, like, see how it curves just a tiny bit, but I don't think that really matters for a scarf, and I think it's so cute. Also, just for reference, everything I learned from YouTube videos and TikToks. This took me like 4 hours to figure out. This one took me like 4 days on and off, like working in the evenings. This one took me like 3 days. So next, for my friend Brenna, I showed her my purple beanie and she said she really wanted a flat beanie, which is a different kind of crochet, and I'm glad I did my other beanie first because this was a bit harder. I think it's so cute, and I think she's really gonna like the color. This one took me like 2 days. And last thing before what I'm working on right now, I did her beanie and I thought it was so cute, and I had these 2 yarns, so I made this little striped one for myself. This is bringing me so much joy. I watched the 2 amazing Spider-Man movies and finished all of it except this last row I did the next morning. What I'm working on right now, also to make my dog Luna a matching one of, I'm making her a sweater out of the same colors that I used for my beanie. So this is the like neck, the rim. The concept of crocheting is crazy. Like, what do you mean I like conjured this stuff up? Anyway, if you guys want me to talk more about crochet, please let me know, because I literally like been so intimidated by it for so long, and then I finally sat down and was like, no, I'm gonna teach myself how to do this, and it actually was not nearly as hard or as confusing as I thought it would be. Let me know, because I'm very passionate about it, as you can see. Like, I'm so happy.